Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today we are going to go fishing, just not in the way you think of it. All right, I have some of my items that I've already cut out here because it takes me a long time to find what I want, and I know you don't want to sit through that. I want to put this in an 11 by 14 frame that has a mat in it. Here is my mat, and I want to know exactly what size will fit in the center of my mat without cutting part of my images off. So I took a sheet of paper that will fit my images, and I put this on it and drew around it so I could see how much is going to be cut off the edges when I put my mat on. See, as these images here, the mat will go on and it will cut off some of my images. So I need to move them all over a little bit. And that tells me a lot there. This won't go in my picture, but it is a good reference. So I wanted to do a picture that was kind of springy with a lot of flowers in it. And I thought I would find a vase and flowers. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe three. And I decided on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vases. They're not exactly vases. They're bottles. But how many of us have stuck a flower or two in a cute bottle? So I found single flowers and some leaves to put in those bottles. And then I was flipping through my book. And saw this cute kitty cat fishing. And of course, he had a line going down here with a cute fish on it. But I decided, wouldn't it be cute if he was fishing for flowers? In fact, maybe he's a vegetarian and doesn't really want to eat fish or mice, so he's fishing for a few flowers to eat. So that is what I have here. I have already cut most of them out, but there's a few little places I will have to trim. I have plastic over here right now to protect everything, and I think it's sticking them more than it is protecting them. Okay. Like right around this fishing rod, I will have to cut that with my craft knife. And I think most of the others, there's one here around my jug handle. And I also cut me some grass to sit at the bottom and kind of hide the bottom of everything. And let me show you how you can do this. Real easy. You don't have to have a pattern. Just take a piece of paper that you like the pattern on, the color you want. Let's go up here. Can you see this? And just draw close to the edge grass. Like that. And cut it, and you'll have a strip like this. Now make it extra big because you can cut some off, but you can't add any. So I made mine fairly big, and if I need it shorter, I'll just cut across here. And that is a fairly easy way to make your own grass the color you want it to be. But I will warn you, it's kind of tedious to cut out. But then cutting is part of collaging anyway, and most of it's fairly tedious. So we have a lot to ink and a little bit to cut out and a lot to glue. So let's start. I'm going to put this up here out of the way. And I think the first thing we want to work on is our kitty cat. I'm going to take my craft knife and cut out this part. I'm not sure how I want to do that. It might be easier to cut out all of this and just draw it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try. I'm not the best craft knife cutter. I make myself do it to practice it. Oops, see, that tore. But since it tore, I'll take advantage of it and just cut it. I don't think we have to have that double line there. And we'll cut some of this anyway. Okay, we need to ink my kitty cat now. This is a little extra wide, but I think when I ink it, it won't show up too badly. And the rest of the fishing line will be drawn with pen or pencil. I'll decide that later. So let's ink it with Distress Ink Photo Vintage Photo. So, and the bottom of the cat, he was sitting in water, but I just cut that down there. There won't be water in here, and it will be hiding behind my grass. Now be gentle around these thin things. It is so easy to tear them off. This reminds me of butterfly antennae that are so hard to deal with, but you want the antenna. You can always draw it on, but I like it better if I can keep the original antenna. So I usually try to cut it a little wide and then ink it around the edges. Okay, and then one of the bottle caps I cut off I thought was cute and would make a cute little hat on his head. So I'm going to smooth it out a little bit because I wasn't paying a lot of attention when I cut it. I didn't think I would keep it, but you know, you keep the oddest things when you collage. Everything seems to be fair game. Don't you think that's cute? I think I will put that on him right now so we don't lose it. I have a lot of little parts here, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose some of them. There we go. And I need to come in that inch, but I'm not going to glue it down on this. I have a background paper to put on. So I am going to go ahead and ink these bottles and these flowers and finish cutting them out, and I will be right back with you when I'm done. Okay, I think I have everything inked and cut out, and now I need to glue my background sheet to my paper here. Now this is just a regular 11 by 8.5, I think it is, piece of cardstock, and I'm going to glue this piece of scrapbook paper right on it like that. And I think we'll just use our stick glue. And start at one end. We won't glue the whole piece of cardstock at once because it dries out and doesn't stick well. So we'll just do one end of it, like this. Be sure it's lined up well. And we're going just a little bit crooked, so while it's still movable, this part will be hidden behind the frame anyway, the mat. Now, we lift it up to where the glue stopped, and then let's glue a little more. Be sure you go a little beyond because we don't want any wrinkles. I don't know about you, but I sure use a lot of glue. Oops. And that just ran out. We'll use a little tip of it for now. Maybe we can finish gluing it before I have to go hunt up for another glue stick. There we go, we made it. Now, I wanted a background that had a little texture to it, but wouldn't detract from my images. So I didn't want it too bright or too colorful or too textured. And I thought this one was just right. All right. Now, this is going to sit down here, and let's see if this is about right. I have it getting thinner as we go down, so I might have to take some off. My kitty is going to sit on a piece of something. And it could, because we want it to hide that water on the back of him. So I think I'll glue that on separately. There we go. Except for drawing in his fishing line and adding a flower that he caught, the kitty cat is pretty much done. So I think he'll be about there. In fact, I think I'm going to glue the very bottom of my grass in, and then I can tuck things in behind it. But it'll hold it in place for me. And it's okay, he was sitting on a hill. It can be tipped. And about this much of that will be hidden. Let's see what that'll be like. Yeah, not near as much of it will be showing as it looks like we'll be showing. And then we want to tuck our kitty cat in about here, like this. And he's going to be fishing for flowers that's sitting over here in a flower garden. So let's get some glue on the back of our kitty. And gently go over my fishing rod. And slip him under here. We want to hide, oops, I pulled him back out again. I think that will be right about right. And gently put the fishing rod down. Have both things to flatten things with. I really like a brayer. If you haven't tried a brayer, you should try it. Now let's put some behind our flowers that were on the cement block. There we go. And I guess we can go ahead and fasten down our grass here. Just by the cat though. There we go. We will draw in the fishing line last, probably. Okay. Now, next to him, let's get all of our bottles in next. I think this next one, maybe I did a little too much, is sitting about here. We'll place them in and then glue them all down when I'm sure they're fitting right. This is a bottle he catches the flower from. And one more goes in here. And we're going to put it a little separate like this. It's kind of in front of that one, just to give it some variation. That's how I want my bottles. Now, like the grass, I think I will only glue down the bottom part of them so I can slip flowers into them and still get them glued down. Now, let's see if I can remember that. Remember, I'm a forgetful grandma. I have no idea what these bottles are saying, if it held food or perfumes or what. And they may not be saying anything. It may just be fake writing. The grass can go down now. There we go. Let's get our next bottle in here. Leave the top free. Try to remember that. Get it straight. We want it sitting up straight, if possible. Glue the grass down. I love doing these collages that tell a story. That's my favorite kind of collage, when I can come up with a story. I mean, have you ever heard of a vegetarian cat? Probably not. But that's what makes it fun and quirky. He's fishing for flowers instead of fish. Leave the top unglued. Slip this guy down there. A little crooked. There we go. We'll get the grass. And get the green jug. Yeah. And I better, yeah, I can glue up to about here. Leave some space in front of it, though. Don't glue the grass down. I'm thinking out loud now. What should I do or not do? Sometimes it's a little tricky to get them glued down in the correct order. And we're putting this one in front of it, just like that. Okay, let's get this one partially glued. And now we can get the grass. I think a lot of us artists, or those of us who try to be artists, love cats. I have 2 kitty cats. But I have to keep them out of my studio when I'm working, or they like to lay on what I'm working. If they were down here, they'd be laying right here. But I love my kitty cats. They're a lot of company. See if I missed any other grass. Here's one. That's looking neat. Now I'm going to trim it here. There we go. Now part of this will be hidden, I'm sure. Yeah, a good share of that will be hidden. We'll have to take that into consideration. Okay. All right, let's add some flowers. Now this is a flower he's going to catch on his hook coming out of this pot. So let's not put it in yet. I need to put this one's flower in. It's just going to be like that. So it's easy for his line to go across it. So I can go ahead Alright, and here's the flower. Just like that. Now this one will have the flower coming out of it. And I have a little leaf that I haven't decided if I want to put in there. Like this. It may be taking up space that's better off left blank. We'll see. Let's go on to this flower. I had a leaf and a pretty bunch of flowers right here. And a leaf about like that. Yeah, about like that. So let's put the leaf down first. Is that? Yeah, that'll be okay, I think. Let's get the flower in. And paste the top of the bottle. Yes, I like that. Now, for this one, I had this bright red poppy and a leaf. And I don't know that there's much use of putting a flower in there. Most of it's going to be hidden. So, let's do it like that. And we won't do too much with this. We will just we'll add the flower and the very edge of it might show. So, if we're doing that, this leaf needs to be above it. So let's glue this down now, so we know how far above it to put that leaf. And maybe just the edge of this flower will show. This is in front, so I guess the flower should be in front. All right. Piece of grass coming up. Just like grass, it keeps growing, doesn't it? And we'll put the leaf like that. And the flower like that, kind of. Yeah. That will do just fine. So let's get the leaf in. The edge of that leaf will be hidden, but that's okay. There we go. It looks like we're almost done, and I think we are. I'm putting words up here, and I'm debating. I have a little sign that says vegan on it, and I might put down here in case somebody doesn't quite catch on what the cat is doing. See, the fishing line comes out here, so I guess it'll have to circle around. It can even go behind that flower and catch on to the back of this flower, like that. So I don't think I'm going to put that leaf here. I might tuck it down there, but let's fasten this down next. It used to be sitting in that bottle. And let's see, when he nabbed it, the leaf fell out. All of our little story here. I think when his mistress found out what he'd been doing in the flower garden, she wasn't very happy with him. Let's see. But you know, when we get unhappy with our cats, we love them anyway, and they get away with, I won't say the word, but they get away with a lot, don't they? Now this is coming down here and hooking in the bottom of the flower. Neat. I like this. Okay. I'm going to get a pencil here, and let's see if I can draw the fishing line with my pencil first. It goes down here and hooks like that. Let's draw that in with ink. I got that a little bit crooked, but nothing I can do about it now. I can make it all a little bit thicker, I guess. There we go. Let's go ahead and put our words up, and then I'll think about that vegan sign. Okay. And my words are gone fishing. I'm a little crooked. Now I'm going to glue all these down and be right back with you, and we'll decide about our vegan sign. There we are, our last letter. Almost didn't fit, did it? But we got it in there. Gone fishing. Isn't that cute? I love it. And real quickly, I'm going to look through for that little sign and see if I want it or not. It may be one thing too many. Right there in the corner. What do you think? Vegan. I don't know. It doesn't hurt, I guess. Right there in the corner. At an angle, I think. It helps tell the story, but it doesn't really add to the picture much. And if I'm going to put it there, it better fit in my mat. Now, before I go, I want to tell you where I got these images. The last vegan image came from 500 Plus Cutout and Collage book. We've got quite a glare here. I apologize for that. The Cutout and Collage book, volume number 5, and the Cutout and Collage book, volume number 4. And I will link to my reviews of this book, and these links will be at the end of the video, which we're about there now. So, I hope this gave you a good idea of something you can do. A puppy dog would be cute there. Anything. I think it's cute. And I hope you've had a good time. And I hope that your day is going wonderful. And I will say bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.